There is a great need for leadership. You just think for a while, you will understand the importance of this word. There is a great need for leadership in various fields. The second thing is, many times we tend to forget that leader will come from within us. We think leader will come from some other place. No. There is a leader in every one of us. The reason is, leadership is considered as the art of influencing people to achieve their goals. Without your knowledge, you are influencing so many people. You're driving people towards achieving their goals. There's a writer who says like this: I have become a leader even before I realized that I'm a leader. Right? That person doesn't know, but already has become a leader. So the second thing that we talk is, there is a leader in every one of us. And the third thing is, the leader who is in you, he has to manifest itself to draw the best out of you and others. You have to give your better than your best, and also you have to get the best from others, not the worst. Okay. There are certain myths we have about leadership. These myths are, the first myth we think, I can't lead if I am not on the top. That's a myth. Whether you're on the top or not, you will be leading people. Many people, they talk about leader. Today we are talking about how to lead the leader. Leaders also need a direction. You should learn how to lead the leader. So don't say that you can lead only if you are on the top. The second myth that we have, when I get to the top, then I will learn how to lead. No, 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 no. You have to learn how to lead wherever you are. Then, the third myth, it's called influence myth. If I were on the top, people would follow me. But let me tell you, you may not be the head of the organization, but still you have the ability to influence people wherever you are. When you are influencing, you are considered as a leader. Then we have another myth regarding leadership. When I get to the top, I will be in control. Absolutely no. Whether you are on the top or not, you will be in control. There is again another myth that's called freedom myth. When I get to the top, I'll no longer be limited. Absolutely wrong. The reason is, when you are on the top, you are governed by so many rules and regulations. There's nothing like complete freedom. No. There is a myth regarding potential. I can't reach my potential if I'm not on the top leader. No, 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 no. You can't reach whether you are there on the top or not. Then all or nothing myth. If I can't get to the top, then I won't try to the lead. Maybe you have to lead people from the middle. Maybe from backside, you need to drive the organization. Therefore, do not be under the impression to lead people always you need to be on the top. Sometimes we teach lessons on leadership, lessons from Sherpas. Some of the Sherpas, they'll be at the back, at your back, so that they want no one is left out. These are the wonderful things wonderful myths that we have about leadership, we need to overcome. Remember, you have already become a leader even before you have realized it. The question is not whether you have become a leader or not. The main point is you have to become an effective leader. The reason is you are a leader, but you need to become an effective leader. Then becoming an effective leader is not enough. Becoming a good leader is not enough. What Jim Collins says, you need to move from a good leader to a great leader. You need to move from a good leader to a great leader. I think the books written by Jim Collins, they're fascinating. I think you may be in a corporate sector or not, but if you get time, you are requested to go through those books. If not going through the complete that particular book, at least you try to get reviews of those books, kindly go through them. And he wrote several books, I can say Good to Great, he wrote, Build to Last, he has written, then Beyond Entrepreneurship, he has written. Then there is a book, How the Mighty Fall. These are wonderful books. Kindly go through them. It may not be possible. You think, I don't say it's impossible. It all depends on the passion. At least try to read reviews. It consists of 10 to 12 pages. You will get on net. Please read. That will be helpful to you. Not only those books, you are also requested to read some of the books written by Spencer Johnson, Ken Blanchard, and also John Maxwell. You might be thinking why this fellow is talking about all Western books. That will tell you there are various Indian books. They help you a lot. Kindly go through the books written by Shiv Khera. It inspires you like anything. For that matter, kindly listen to Shiv Khera. Kindly watch videos by Shiv Khera. One thing I can tell you, you won't be the same. You won't be the same, right? They inspire you like anything. Please go through them. Then another question is, who is a leader? Let's say somebody is at crossroads and he needs some guidance, which way to go. I'm sure most of us were at crossroads at some point or other. We were at crossroads. At the time, we were in need of some guidance. There is someone who guides you, directs you, and that person is considered a leader. A leader is one who guides and directs other people. Then there is another definition which talks about a leader is that person who influences, motivates, enables others to contribute toward the effectiveness and success of the organization of which they are members. How do we influence people? We influence people through various means. You can influence people through force. You can influence people through intimidation. Does it require? Sometimes it requires. Then you also influence people through manipulation. You influence people through exchange. I give you something if you do this. You persuade people and you try to influence, and you are trying to motivate them and trying to influence. And by giving them a call for honor, you are going to influence these people. Now, Peter Drucker, what he says whenever we talk about leadership is the art of influencing people, he says, come on, stop for a while. Leadership is something more than just influencing. Leadership is not making friends and influencing people. Many people, this influencing. I do agree influencing people is a part of leadership. That is not the end. If you think leadership is influencing people, I can tell you there are many salesmen. They try to influence us. We go to a mall, we go to a super bazaar, you want to buy something because the salesperson has influence. Recently, I had been to more super bazaar, and when I went there, there was a person who said, "Sir, this one." The new one, Agni tea powder pack has come. It is good. We are also using. It's good. If you want, you can use it. You buy one, you'll get another one free, and you won't lose much of. Just it's a matter of 140 rupees to get. It costs you 70 rupees ultimately. Then I was influenced by that, and I bought them. So it's not just influencing people like a salesman. A leadership is something more. It is the lifting of a man's vision to higher heights. I can tell you, there could be a person who influenced you, who said or who told you that you'll become something, who gave you one or two clues that made you something great. And when you start connecting the dots, you have realized, oh, but for that man today, I wouldn't have been here. Like that, there are many people who influence you. The job of a leader is lifting of a man's vision to higher sides and raising of a man's personality beyond its normal limitations. That is the job of a leader. It is not just influencing you like a salesman. That is what Peter Drucker says, whatever it is. That's a very profound statement. Then Theodore Hyman talks about leadership is the process by which an executive, the word, oh, every word is important. Imaginatively, you need a lot of creativity, um, ability to see. You have to envision. You have to craft a strategy. So an executive imaginatively directs, guides, and influences the work of others in choosing and attaining specified goals by mediating between the individual and the organization in such a manner that both will obtain maximum satisfaction. All the days we are taught, surrender your goals to organization goals. Organization goals are very important. Once you protect the organization, automatically organization will protect you. I think during my time it was okay, but today it's not like that. Today it's not like that. How many of you agree with me? Today's organization. You tell me, what is the normal stay of a person in an organization? How long normally they stay in an organization? Can someone answer? One more thing. Am I connected?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yes, I'm
Maximum two
connected.
to 4 years, I think.
2 to 4 years, very good. And let me tell you, um, my teachers, they used to teach me 100 years in the life of an organization is an ordinary thing. And that is how we were brought up. Therefore, once we join in any organization, we never used to leave. Till we retire, we used to stick to that organization. But today, what is the average life of an organization? See, after some time, either mergers are taking place or that is absorbed by a big company or something is going to happen. Some of the companies, they are totally disappearing. Therefore, what we are telling people, hey, don't get under the impression that only organization goals are very important. Even your life ambition is very important. Your goals are very important. Therefore, the job of a leader is to say that you achieve your goals and also organization they achieve their goals and organization should be satisfied and even you should be satisfied. Now, when we talk about leadership, today we have many leaders. I'm not saying every one of us a leader, I too agree. But there are certain basic questions that we have. Do you have followers? When I say that I'm a teacher, it implies that I have students. Likewise, when I say that I'm a leader, it implies that I have followers. Yes, we are influencing people. There are some questions we need to pose. How many followers? What kind of followers? What are their convictions? What are the convictions of our followers? What is their commitment level? How long these commitments they last? These are very important in leadership. In leadership, there are certain things. There is something called mutuality after interest. That means you give something and I get something. People will not follow a leader if there is equal distribution of authority. They follow a leader only when there is unequal distribution of authority. If you get a feeling that you are going to get something from your leader, you try to follow, otherwise you will not follow. Though today we have work from home and other things, unless you have some kind of social interaction, this leadership, this process will not survive too long. So leadership, basically, it's an interaction, social interaction. Then, this is the most important statement that I'm going to make. The effectiveness of a leader depends on three important things. One is leader, his qualities, followers and their qualities, and the third one is the situation. So many times people, they ask you about leadership effectiveness or effectiveness of leadership. Then you need to touch upon these 3 points. But if you go through some of the theories on leadership, when time permits, I go through them. Some of the theories, they focus only on leader. Some of the theories, they focus on leader, depending on follower, how he reacts, and ignoring situation. There are some theories which emphasize both on leader, follower. They also take into consideration the situation. Remember, this one is very important. If you know this one, lot of answers you can write in the examination. The effectiveness of a leadership depends on leader, follower, and the situation. Now, what are the functions of a leader? The functions of a leader, the first thing is you have to provide vision. Where there is no vision, people, they perish. The job of a leader is he has to see the future of the organization. He has to lead the organization. He has to think ahead 20 years, 30 years. I think I'm talking about something different. But I think today, 20 years, 30 years, it happens to be a very big time. But you have to think. You have to provide vision. But let me tell you, as you progress in the life of an organization, have you experienced this thing? The vision getting blurred. As we grow in our age and other things, when you sit too long before your laptops, computers, and all these things, our vision gets blurred. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, I think you are into your world. You are ignoring so many other things. You are not getting up from your place. Over a period of time, regarding your organization, also your vision get blurred. I know many organization, philanthropy organization. From philanthropy organization, they want to get into a commercial organization. So you need, what is your vision? Is your vision okay? Or is it getting blurred? Where do you want to take your organization? That is the function of a leader. Then the second thing is a leader has to inspire. Inspire doesn't mean only giving, I think some of you might be remembering, leadership lessons from Bahu. I think I used to make my students to give presentations in the class. They made a wonderful presentation that is on leadership lessons from Bahubali movie. In that one, they were talking about inspiring, motivating the dialogues of Bahubali when he was in battlefield. I think some of you remember. I think you need inspiration, when you need motivation, not when everything is going on smoothly, but you need inspiration, you need motivation when you are into a problem. Now, you have to inspire people. Then we need to understand the job of a leader is taking people along with us. Together we can achieve more. So we need to develop teamwork. When we talk about developing teamwork, I think I don't know how many of you experienced. In some of the places, people, they try to play on the weaknesses of people. Is my statement clear? Some people, they try to play on the weaknesses of people rather than on their strengths. I do not know whether I got the point. Many times this is what happens. But learn how to play on the strengths of people. Each one is endowed with certain talent. Make them to leverage that talent, develop teamwork. And you know very well in our country, if I have to give an excellent example regarding teamwork, I think it is the teamwork of Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah. You agree with me? It's an excellent teamwork. Even yesterday I was reading something about it. Can I get any response? You may differ. Your party might be different. You might be having a different, that means party alliance. But the thing is, when something is good, is there, we should learn how to appreciate it. We need to develop teamwork. And we have to create confidence. Confidence, leader has to create in a hopeless situation. You have to build morale when everything is falling. A leader has to represent the group. These are the functions of a leader. I think you can think about Bahubali movie, you can think about Shakti India, you can think about, see, we used to show, or we used to make students to come with presentation based on some of these things. We used to have discussions on these things. Through that, we were learning about leadership. If you can recollect, I think a lot of things you can learn. Then the next thing is, do you know that leadership develops daily? The first day, I don't know what I do not know. There are people, they do not know that they do not know. From that stage, you go forward. You start realizing that, yes, I know that what I do not know. Then the next stage will come. I know and I grow, and it starts to show. From there, you move further. I simply go because of what I know. So this development, daily, it takes place, not regarding one aspect, regarding several aspects. Now, from this, we will go forward. What are the basic leadership styles? What are the basic leadership styles? Now, quickly, I'll go through. You have got autocrat leadership style or director leadership style. Under that one, people, they have a close supervision. Leader defines the roles and tasks. He believes in one-way communication. Then from there, we are going to a supportive role. Leader defines the roles and tasks, but seeks ideas and suggestions from followers. Decision still with the leader, and you have a two-way communication. Then we go in for democratic leadership style. Day-to-day decisions rest with the followers. Leader facilitates and takes part in decisions. The control is with the followers. And laissez-faire leadership style, how to pronounce this one, I think you go and check it. Sometimes I could be wrong also. Leaders are still involved in decisions and problem solving. The control is with the followers. The followers decide when and how the leader will be involved. These are the leadership styles, but there are some people, they call it 1, 2, 3, 4 categories also. So same thing I gave you this one. Advantage or disadvantage we are given. Now the question is, people, they ask you, which style is the best leadership style? Our answer is no one style is the best leadership style. It all depends. Then Daniel Goleman, you must have heard his name. Have you heard his name? Daniel Goleman. Okay. You must have heard the name, the concept emotional intelligence. Any response from anyone, including me? There are 13 participants. Okay, what he was, he popularized the concept of emotional intelligence. So when they give you a question on emotional intelligence, just write his name. Daniel Goleman popularized the concept of emotional intelligence. You'll get at least 1 mark. Then whether you know, if you know the concept, you write the concept. Otherwise, also you get something. Now, Daniel Goleman says, he talks about different kinds of styles of leadership. One is coercive or commanding leader, command immediate compliance, autocrat approach, operate through fear and intimidation. This works when other approaches fail, and when rapid and unquestioned action is required, then you have to get into this commanding leadership style. Then from there, we move to visionary leader. A visionary leader tells people where to go, but not how to go. He mobilizes people towards a vision, doesn't dictate terms, utilize people's skills. This is useful when you are moving in a new direction or managing change. You know him very well, the present generation. Then we have affiliative leader. He creates emotional bonds and connections, empathizes with workers, keeps the team spirit alive, useful when there are no conflicts and tensions in the team. The time you can, yes, we can. Then we have a democratic leader, focus on collaboration, actively seek input from their teams, rely more on listening than directing, useful when you need to get people on board or on build consensus, you know, him too. Then we have a pace-setting leader, focus on performance and achieving goals, expect excellence for their teams, high standards are set and poor performance is punished. He might have a negative effect on the team, useful when high quality results are needed from a motivated team. My job is not to be easy on people, my job is to make them better. Now, coaching leader is like a mentor, encourages and develops people for future success. He helps people to find their strengths and weaknesses, effective when there's a member in a team who needs help in building long-term goals. So these are the 6 styles that are given by Goldman. I kept it one place. But the conclusion is, remember, none of these styles are particularly good or bad. All have their merits and limitations. All these styles are not absolutes. They are learnable, mutable. What with practice one can become a better leader. Now, as we proceed, we will discuss. I think they'll ask you what are the competencies, qualities of a leader. You need to have emotional intelligence. You should be able to perceive, assimilate, understand, and regulate emotions. A leader should have integrity. Today we talk about principle-centered leadership. A leader should have inner drive, inner motivation to pursue goals. He should have that need for achievement. Leadership should have a motivation, high needs for socialized power to accomplish team or firm goals. A leader is supposed to have self-efficacy, self-confidence. A leader should have above average cognitive ability, intelligence, and leaders should have knowledge of business, familiar with the business environment, aids intuitive decision making. Now, to conclude, I'll try to give an example. A leader should be like a lion. What is this lion? Lion is, I think, is king, the jungle, has got that attitude. That attitude makes everything. The attitude of a leader, I can do, I can do. I think there's a writer by name Dr. Miles Monroe. He talks about a lion is not tall like a giraffe. It's not like an elephant. It's not cunning like a fox. It's not smart like a rabbit, but still it is considered as the king of the jungle. So what makes that difference is the attitude of the lion. So when you are leading the organization as a leader, you may not be everything, but your ability to lead the organization, it is more important. The attitude of a leader, it is something different. And next, I think yesterday I was talking, we will go to this leadership theories. Yesterday I was discussing about leadership theory X and theory Y. And, there is one more thing we need to learn. This writer by name Chris agrees what he says. All of us move from immaturity level to maturity level. All of us move from immaturity level to maturity level. That is what happens. But unfortunately, what it says, most of the organizations, you can go through it if you want. I can share this PPT with you. Unfortunately, most of the organizations, they do not treat them like matured individuals. They want to treat you in the same way even after 25 years of getting experience. Just imagine a situation in your family, you are grown, but if they treat you like a small kid, I'm not saying you are not kid to your parents. There is a saying, Dilik Rajena Talik Koduke. I do agree with all those things, but you expect a little different treatment as you mature. Now, many organizations, that is a problem. People, they are maturing, but organizations, they don't mature, they treat them in the same way. And the problem, they crop up in the organization. So all these things I'm giving. how you are when you are immature and how you are when you become mature. Same thing happens with the organizations. Then we will discuss very little about MBO, management by objectives. This is popularized by this writer by name Peter F. Drucker. He popularized. It is a management tool. It is a participative management style. It comes out of, I can tell you, theory why thinking. It comes out of a thinking wherein you start treating people like matured individual. See, unless you get into that kind of thinking, it's not possible for you to implement management by objectives. And this is a management tool whereby managers and employees, they work together to set the objective and track the objective for a specified period of time. Objectives and plans cascade down the organization until every individual has specific objectives for the period. Now, this is the entire process of management review of organization objectives, set employees objectives, monitor, evaluate, and reward. But most of the time, this happens in terms of we, W-E-We, not I. The manager says, we will set our objectives, then the worker performs, then the objectives or the achieved objectives are evaluated by both manager and a subordinate. But let me tell you, it may look very good and it's good also, but what is required is, as a manager, I should give up my egos. I should not think setting the objectives is my prerogative only. Even workers, they should think under management by objectives that the managers, in the name of setting the objectives, they are trying to misuse their authority. Now, there should be enlightenment on the part of both managers and also workers. Then only management by objectives can be successful in any organization. Now we will get into leadership theories. Why we have to get into leadership theories? The reason is very simple. These theories, they give us some clues. And these clues, they help us to develop as a better leader. Every day, we will try to improve our leadership skills. Now we will start with some of the theories. And the first theory I'm going to start with, it's called great man theory. Great man theory. Now, I think before getting into this one, let me share with you a small story. A group of researchers, they go to a village to find out whether great leaders are born in that village. They go to that village, they ask these wonderful questions. That wonderful question is, are great leaders born in this village? The villagers looked at these people and started telling that great leaders are not born in this village, only babies are born. That means babies are born in this village and we make them as leaders. So one of the theories that talks about leaders are made. Some people, they advocate great man theory says leaders are born. It became very popular and they say that there are many famous leaders and great leaders are born, they are not made. The history is full of leaders with, it's called great man theory. But today what we have realized that over a period of time, say, leaders, okay, there are people, they are born with a lot of talents. Not only that, there are many people, whom we can transform them into becoming leader. There are several stages. There are several stages. They force people to become leaders. They force people to become leaders. That's called emergence of leader, growth of leader. These things they do happen, but the great man theory believes that leaders are born, they are not made. From there we are moving, of course. From there we are moving to the next theory. No, it's not like that. Don't think um, only leaders are born. Sometimes you have to prepare leaders. You have to make leaders. There is another theory that talks about traits theories of leadership. It says leaders, they might have been born, but we can also make some people as leaders, provided they have certain traits like intelligence, perseverance, ambition, some of these things. The assumption is people are born with inherited traits. Some traits are particularly suited to leadership. People who make good leaders have the right combination of these traits. And of course, we talk about the traits of leader: ambition, energy, desire to lead, honest, self-confidence, intelligence, high self-monitoring, all these things. Now, okay, this one is also good, but can we say that there are universally traits? How many traits they need? What is the proportion of the those traits? What kind of personality they should have, what kind of physical personality should have, what kind of mental personality should have. Of course, one thing we will accept: people, if they have certain qualities, they can turn out to be a good leaders. We do agree that statement, but it is not the complete statement. I think if you can recollect, I told you there are three important things to become an effective leader. One is the quality of leader. The second one is, I was sharing with you, the qualities of subordinate. And the third thing I was talking about, the situation. And these theories, they focus only on leader. Even on leader, they talk about some of the qualities. For that matter, if you see, there are great leaders in our country. If you consider their physic, I think you know very well, they are not like Pairwan, they are not like great Vastas or Valors, but they have done wonders in this country. So, without discarding this theory, why I'm using the word without discarding, I agree certain traits are required to become a good leader, but that is not the complete picture about leadership, effective leadership. Then there are people, they talk about the behavioral theories of leadership. These theories, they propose theories that specific behaviors differentiate leaders from non-leaders. These theories propose that specific behavior differentiate leaders from non-leaders. The assumption is leaders can be made rather than born. Successful leadership is based on a definable and learnable behavior. Then these theories, they do not seek inborn traits. They look at what leaders can actually do. Success can be defined in terms of describable actions. And the implication of this theory is leadership capability can be learned. Of course, we have got Ohio State University. They were talking about initiating structure and consideration structure. And initiating structure means the extent to which a leader is likely to define and structure his or her role and those of subordinate. Consideration talks about relationship. Same thing we have tried to put in different way. Employee-oriented leader and production leader. All these are behaviors only. Now, of all the things, you need to focus more on this particular theory, managerial grid theory. Once again, I'm repeating. Of all these behavioral theories, you have to focus more on managerial grid theory. Many times they ask you in the examination this particular theory. This is propounded by Blake and Morton. Even in competitive examinations, they ask several questions based on this particular theory. Now, these people, what they have done, they try to plot. This is concern for production, you can say, concern for result. This is concern for people. So what they do is, before giving training, grid training, they will try to understand what kind of leadership style you have. So based on the responses, they have categorized into these 5 categories of leadership. One, they said impoverished leadership, where neither you have got concern for people nor concern for production, and authority compliance, where you have no concern for people, your concern is only for production. And this kind of leadership he calls a country club, where your concern is only for people, not for production. Middle of the road, where you are thinking your concern is both for people and for the production, and you're talking about team. Under team, you have got high concern for people and high concern for results. So what they do, they will try to identify what kind of leadership you have at present. They'll give a grit training, we call it leadership training, and they take you to the higher level that is called team management. For them, or for these people, team building, team management is the best leadership style. I think coming up. So same thing I try to put in different things. Okay. You'll be having these slides are meant to give you information like a notes. I have kept it. According to Blake model, team management is the most effective leadership style. But remember, I was telling there is no particular leadership style. It all depends on the situation, what for you are taking your organization forward. It reflects a leader who is passionate about their work and who does the best they can for the people they work with. Then we have got contingency or situational model leadership. And this theory says there is no one single ideal approach of leadership. Circumstances, they are different. Therefore, we are having different kinds of leadership based on the situation. Situation leadership theory says effective leaders must change their behavior according to the situation. And this particular situational or context model, they offer a framework or guide for being flexible and capable while leading. Contingency theory, they talk about that smartly. They clearly define the situation in which that you can work. That's the difference between a situational theory and a contingency theory. Then Robert Tannenbaum and Schmidt, they have given a continuum or a continuum scale, we call it. See, they gave you 7 options. On this side, the leader enjoys complete authority. On this side, the subordinates, they enjoy maximum authority. Now, what is the leadership style that you want to choose? It is based on the situation. It's called area of freedom. A situation is a combination of capability of people, nature of the task. Based on that, you are choosing out of the 7, one particular leadership style. Okay. Same thing here. Just for sake of information, I gave you. Then we talk about Fred Fiedler's contingency model. Now, the Fred Fiedler contingency model says the theory that effective group depends on a proper match between a leader's style of interacting with subordinate and the degree to which the situation gives control and influences to the leader. So there should be a match between these two things. And these things, they depend on three important things, as I told you previously. What is my style? Second thing is, what is the situation? Then what is the match between leader and the situation? See, your effectiveness depends on these three things. The first thing is, I need to identify what is my style. My style is identified with a basic questionnaire that is called least preferred coworker. It's very, very simple thing. In your organization, you might be having a person, and you might be thinking, if God gives me a chance and asks me, would you like to work with this person? You may say, I do not want to work with this person during my lifetime. If God gives me, I'll ask that boon from him. So that worker with whom you do not want to work at all, we call it as a least preferred co-worker. Now, this question talks about what do you think about the LPC, least preferred co-worker. See, there are different kinds of people like Dharmaraja and like Duryodhana. Okay, there are people like Dharmaraj. Even in their enemies, they see a lot of good things. There are some people, and even if you show them the best friend of theirs, they try to find fault with him. Now, same thing talks about your least preferred co-worker style. If you are able to identify good qualities in your least preferred co-worker, that means you are relationship oriented. On the other hand, if you are not able to identify good qualities in your least preferred co-worker, that means you are task oriented. So this is the scale. What do you think about him? Okay. Then you have to define the situation. Define the situation is what is the leader-member relation, whether task is highly structured or low structure. Are you enjoying strong or weak position? That is the second thing. One is what is your style, what is the situation. Now, here continuous model, leader-member relation, what is the task, what is the position. What is the preferred leadership style? I am going to, here you have to match the leader of the situation. Now, leader position power, task structure, leader member relation. What we are trying to convey in this one. When things are on this side, it is better to get into task oriented or extreme sides, task oriented. If you take up, the performance will be matching. It will be high. When things are moderate, better for you to get into relationship oriented style. This is friend extreme task orientation. Middle, you have to go for relation orientation. Now, what is the limitation of this theory? Limitation of Fred continuous model is not a useful guide for helping people to become leaders, nor it is an efficient or necessarily flexible model for modern leadership organization. So here we are talking about personality is fixed, matching behavior to the circumstances. Is it possible? Matching probably equals unavoidable to matching the person to circumstances. This requires replacement of leaders whose style do not match. And because sometimes our behavior is fixed, therefore it is not possible for us to match the situation. Therefore, we have to change the leader. That is what this particular theory talks about. It's 12 o'clock. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll stop here. I think you need to get into other sessions also. Actually, it is I teach a course, leadership and change and other things. I take for about sometimes 40 hours like that to teach that one, but I'm forced to talk everything by 1 hour. Sorry, maybe I try. I don't know whether I've done justice or not, but I try to present before you whatever I can. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Amma, who has attended all the classes?
Me, sir.
Me. Okay. Can you tell me how many sessions so far we have taken, including Sophie? She has taken a session, no?
Sir, this is the 5th class you are taking.
Not 5th. Oh my God.
Sir, it would be from 8th or 9th, sir.
8th.
I think you have taken close to 10 only, sir.
Yes. I think. Because
Yeah.
I'm told I need to take 10 sessions. I think.
July one session they cancelled, sir.
Yeah.
July
first week 2 sessions were there, and again we are okay. No problem. I'll try to find out.
I think 8 or 9 are done. I think, sir.
Okay. So whatever it is, Amadeepa, I'm going to send motivation and also leadership. See, one thing I want to tell you, a lot of slides will be there. See, the reason for giving you so many slides is very, very simple. It will help you like a small notes also.
Yes, sir.
The best, I tell you, the best we are presenting is for a 30-minute session, we should not exceed 10 slides, and 20 should be the font size. That's the best thing. But if I leave it, nowadays we are presenting with the help of some pictures only. Nothing is kept on the slide, but you can't make out unless I tell. So I thought this will be useful. Therefore, I have put a lot of material also. You can share it with those people who have interest.
Yes, sir. Okay? I'll share it with the human resource group, sir. I am in that group. Main group, we can't share anything.
No, not main group. What I'm telling, if they have interest, you can share with them.
Yes, sir. I'll put it in my group. Other group people, if they contact me, I will share it with them.
Let us not force someone to go read it, because if they don't have interest, okay?
Yeah, if they are interested, if they contact me, I'll share it with everyone.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Vandal. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.